Hi, I'm Alan Chen. Today, I'll teach you how to draw a Lewis structure. What's Lewis structure? The Lewis structure is a presentation of atoms and molecules where only the outer valence electrons are shown. Valence electrons are the electrons in the outermost shell of an atom. Here is an example of nitrogen atom. It has 7 electrons naturally. Note that the first shell can only contain 2 electrons, while the second shell can contain 8 electrons, and so on. The nitrogen atom only has 2 shells, so the number of electrons in the second shell is the number of valence electrons. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so the valence electrons is equal to 5. Let's see how to convert it into Lewis structure. First, we need to copy down the atom symbol of nitrogen, so N. Second, we need to copy down the valence electrons of the nitrogens, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons, and that's it. Now, let's do something a little bit harder. First, we need to copy down the symbol of fluorine, so F. Second, we need to look at the periodic table. It shows that the fluorine has 7 valence electrons, so 7 electrons around it. And because it's an ion, so we need to put 1 more electrons here. That's it. Now let's look at another example. First, we need to copy down the atomic symbol of calcium, so Ca. Second, we need to look in the periodic table, so calcium has 2 covalent electrons. Because the ion charges of calcium is positive 2, so we do not need to put any electrons around it. So that's it. Now, let's learn how to draw an ionic compound and a covalent compound in Lewis structure. First, let's learn how to draw a covalent compound. Here are 2 bromine atoms. First, we need to copy down the atom symbol for both of them. Second, we need to look at the periodic table. It shows that the bromine has 7 valence electrons, so we need to copy down both of them. Because bromine atom need 1 more electrons to form stable octet, so there will be a line joining them together. Remind that covalent bonds are drawn as lines. Remaining electron pairs are drawn as pairs of dots. So here is a lone pair. Now let's look at another example of covalent compound, H2O, also known as water. First, we need to copy down the atom symbols. H, O, H. Second, we need to look at the periodic table, O and H here. So the oxygen has 6 valence electrons. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, while the hydrogen only has 1 electrons. And then we combine them together with a line. And now it's finished. Here are some tips to draw the covalent compound with Lewis structures. To write out Lewis dot diagrams for each atom. To join unpaired electrons between atoms to form covalent bonds. The central atom will be the one with most unpaired electrons. Now, let's learn how to draw an ionic compound with Lewis structure. MgO is an ionic compound. First, let's copy down the atom symbol for magnesium and oxygen. Second, let's look at the periodic table. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. Magnesium has 2 valence electrons. So we draw the electrons here. Now, we transform the electrons of magnesium to oxygen. This makes both of them become stable octant. Don't forget to do a conclusion. We always need these two for ionic compound at last. Let's look at another example here. So first, we need to copy down the atomic symbol as usual. So aluminum, hydrogen, and the hydrogen. Second, let's look at the periodic table. The aluminum has 3 valence electrons, as the hydrogen only has 1 electron. So let's draw it out. The aluminum gives each of the hydrogen 1 electron. This makes both of them become stable content. And the last, that's it. It's the end of the lesson now. Again, hope you enjoyed this class.